Hi everyone, my next guest is from the UK and originally from Germany, and we'll be speaking at LangFest, and her name is Kerstin Cable. So thank you for joining us on the LangFest channel. Today I have with me Kerstin Cable, who is fluent in Spanish, Latin, Russian, German, English, French, and Welsh. She also managed the website Fluent Language. So welcome, Kerstin.
Hey, Leo. Nice. Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, we are here virtually, and we'll be at LangFest together in August. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I have never been to Canada, so going to Montreal and going to a bilingual city is going to be incredibly exciting in itself, and then attending LangFest will be even better.
Great. Well, we're happy to have you.
Thank you.
So tell me what got you interested in this language learning journey. What's your story?
I don't think there was a kind of conscious decision to be into this thing. It's one of those. I'm one of those people who've just always really been into this. I started when I was sort of 10. I'm from a very monolingual background. I just learned German as my native language, and I didn't really learn another language until I was 10. But in kindergarten, we sort of got in touch with some other languages. We sort of sang like "If You're Happy and You Know It" and "Sur le Pont d'Avignon," but no idea what any of it meant. But I was really into the foreign words at an early stage, and my secondary school was really great, and I enjoyed language learning in school. So I guess that's what got me into this journey. Didn't realize what I was getting into at the time.
I see. So the journey happened to you. You didn't decide consciously to just.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is interesting because you say you didn't start learning a new language until you were 10, which is still by at least North American standard very early for most of us anyways.
Taken very seriously in Germany, so that you really cannot really escape no matter what type of school you're in. We've got three school tracks, some of which are more academic, some of which are much more real life and practical skills focused. But it doesn't really matter which one of them you take. English is extremely taken very seriously, and then it's really about your second foreign language where the differences come in.
You have a website now called Fluent Language, mainly about developing good habits for language learners. You regularly update it. You have a blog, very good material. What compelled you to start this website?
Well, I started language tutoring in 2012, and that's when I also started Fluent. So that's when I started writing about languages, and kind of, I've added the podcast since, and I've, created lots of courses. And the reason I started really was that I was looking for part-time work as a German tutor, and my husband, who is a web developer, said to me that I should blog, because then I'm going to be found more on the internet, and you sort of demonstrate what you know, etc. So I started writing, and I realized in about 2 or 3 weeks that I'm really into it, and that I really just love writing and sharing what I know about the process, not even the German, just the process of language learning. And it's kind of gone from that. So habits are really something I'm focusing on at the moment, since I think it's, I'm kind of ever more trying to drill down into what makes self-teaching work.
Right, because your teaching method is a little unique compared to, say, other language tools. It seems like you go into depth into like how you can get the best out of the material out there.
Yes, and get the best out of the learner really themselves, because what I found is that a lot of learners even hold back from getting started because of low confidence. So a lot of the things the tools I produce and the coaching I do with people, it's much more focused on helping them realize, best practice, good systems for making steady progress, helping them realize which progress type is really something that you should aim for, and what sort of maybe a waste of time and not so productive. But ultimately, I work around my learner. I want it to be led by the individual.
I see.
Because everybody's got their own sort of key to success inside them, or
Right.
at least I think so.
And what would you say to those, I guess, those more skeptics about learning other languages? I'm guessing it's less common in Germany and perhaps a little bit more in UK. Like, why would you bother to learn a language? What would you say to those type of people?
Oh, well, to me, there are so many advantages. It is enriching. It is something that makes you healthier, and that has been proven. So that it staves off brain degenerative diseases for many, many years. It is also a really good career investment. It's often been proven that, for example, funnily enough, German is one of those languages that will, over the course of your career, really have a consequence of you getting paid more because of the type of jobs that you're likely to do and to get. It is something that can really contribute to happiness in the same way that learning the violin can, or learning a musical instrument, because it's so rewarding. And ultimately, it's not as hard as it looks from the outside. So I don't really see why not.
Great. So we talked a bit in the beginning on how you're coming to Canada for the first time. We'll be giving a presentation at LangFest in August. Without selling all the beans, what do we expect to see from you at the presentation at LangFest?
Oh, I'm so excited. And I'm going to do, I think my presentation might be different from a lot of the others because I decided to just bring somebody else on board, which is Lindsay Williams, who you probably know. Lindsay and I have worked together a lot because for a long time, I took her on as a co-host of my podcast. So we sort of I know that we work well together. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of rapport. And what I based my talk on at LangFest is this sort of idea of the language learning routine, and the particularly assumption that some people have the perfect routine. And Lindsay and I have found, as we communicate and talk to each other about language learning, our different routines and our different tendencies of what we want to do, we realize that we work really differently. There are a few techniques that we have in common, but ultimately, I forever feel not as disciplined as her. So I figured we'll have a little fun, and we're kind of gonna just come on and each show what we do, and look at what's different and what we have in common. Check out the podcast if you want to kind of get a sense of our vibe and how we work together. I think we've got some really cool chemistry going. I loved doing the podcast with her. So that's called the Creative Language Learning Podcast, and it's on my website.
Well, I will make sure to post that on the link to the video once it's fully done. Great. All right. Well, anyways, thank you for that. Is there anything else in your future? Any languages that you're learning that you want to learn? Is there any more presentation elsewhere you want to talk about?
Oh, well, there's a few events. I don't know when this is coming out, but at the end of May, there's a European language event called the Polyglot Gathering, and that's taking place in Bratislava this year in Slovakia.
Oh,
so,
wow.
A really interesting place. And I'm going there, and I'm doing a talk called "Yes, You Can Talk to Everybody in Your Target Language." So it's about speaking skills and how to maybe build up your confidence to speak to people. That's sort of coming up. I've got a few really cool webinars coming up in May. So if you can't maybe travel somewhere, there's still a few live events that I'm doing, and I'm planning to kind of bring these throughout the summer. And personally, I'm really excited about two things. Je suis en train de réanimer mon français pour parler mieux le français, because French is a fluent language, but my speaking has gone a bit sleepy. And also I am going to Wales to the National Day Stifford, which is at the start of August. So before I go to Canada, that's what I'm going to do.
Wonderful. Well, anyways, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today, and good luck with those events. And I'm really looking forward to meeting you at LangFest in August.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm excited to watch everybody else's interviews as well.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll have lots more to post on there. Thank you, Kerstin.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for watching this video. Remember that you can register for the Montreal Language Festival on the website down below, and you can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a nice day.